Welcome to Attention Talk Video, where we pay attention to attention. Now, here's your host, Jeff Copper.
Welcome, everybody, to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm cognitive engineer and ADHD coach, Jeff Copper. And in my world, a lot of what I'm doing is trying to bring the intangible to make it tangible, or to communicate things in certain ways where people can really begin to understand the abstract and really kind of manage their ADHD in different ways. Got a lot of videos at different times that are doing that. Every once in a while, I run into something that is hilarious, and it really kind of communicates something. Sometimes it's perfect for what I'm doing. Sometimes it's not exactly perfect, but it's a good enough metaphor that we can kind of use to play around with. So I have an image that's going to be put on the screen here in a second, and as you can see, it's my little light bulb guy. We call him Aha Bob, by the way. And most people don't realize if you look really closely, it spells aha in his brain. That's kind of like the aha of Aha Bob. But needless to say, is you've got the police officer saying, "Can you see the person who stole your glasses?" And what this is kind of about is a lot of times when you're in the workforce or you're in school and you're struggling with ADHD, they really kind of want to know what accommodations that you need. Well, how can you have how can you see what you need metaphorically if your glasses are kind of gone? It's kind of a little bit of a joke. At the beginning of this video, I said I'm a cognitive engineer, and that's because I've derived a new field of engineering called cognitive ergonomics from the inside out. What it actually is a new field of engineering. It applies to anybody with executive functioning impairments, but it's kind of doubles also as a new ADHD intervention. And it basically brings tangibility to what's intangible so that we can understand executive functions as a process, not a noun. A noun is just something you call like executive functions. We know that there's executive function. We know they produce a plan, but you need to understand the process of how the executive functions work together individually and collectively, and how they fight each other, and understand as a process if you're really going to manage ADHD. And when you do that, you can actually begin to understand that what specific accommodations that you need in order to perform. But all too often, people are asking you for the accommodations when you can't even see and don't even know. So it's really kind of a running joke. But needless to say, I just want everybody to be aware that I do have this new program. It's called Cognitive Ergonomics from the Inside Out. It explains anomalies that the current paradigms can't really kind of explain. In videos to come, I'm starting to talk about what I call tangible misattribution. We have a tendency to focus on things that are tangible and dismiss the abstract. And so we'll have a lot of tendency to look at things that are tangible and saying that's what got me to work or got me to do something when it's not. It's really kind of something else. But needless to say is if you're new to our channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're an existing follower, please let us have some comments. But we're hoping to have more and more content coming your way in the months to come that will help you begin to identify what accommodations that you need for ADHD. As an aside, if you go to my live stream thing, there's a couple, at least there's one video up there on the intangible accommodation axiom that makes an argument that oral conversation is an accommodation for people with ADHD that's been around since language was invented. If you follow that logic, it really makes a lot of sense. And if you'll notice is when you're with people like decluttering or doing a project, you tend to do a lot better than you do on your own. But needless to say is, again, it's a fun little graphic. How can you recognize who stole your glasses if you can't see them? So anyway, if you're new to our channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're existing, I think I already said that. So let's just wrap this thing up. I hope this has been a helpful video. Take care.